You're listening to Go Ahead Podcast. Aviation English 2024. Hello everybody, welcome to the second episode of Go Ahead Podcast. First of all, I have to say I'm sorry because I couldn't upload this second episode before since I had, some issues to attend to. But I'm finally here with you today, and I'm particularly happy because I have my first guest on the podcast. This first guest is one of my colleagues in the control tower. He's the youngest one. He's the baby ATC in our team, I would say. Okay. His name is Diego, and he helped me, by the way, to do the first episode of the podcast in Peldehue. He was actually the cameraman, the camera operator, and I would say he was a sort of multitasking person, really. So the thing is that after our experience there, Diego told me that he was excited about learning English, and he was willing to participate on the podcast and to have a conversation in English. And of course, I immediately invited him to the podcast. So here we are, guys. And I'm very happy to introduce you to Diego Concha, an ATC from Chile, who accepted the challenge to speak in English. And he's going to share with us his experience as an ATC briefly, considering it is the first job experience for him. Okay. So, I was actually thinking about having an episode about your first experience, okay, as an ATC. What do you think? I think it would be very interesting, to talk about how was your first experience as an ATC. Perhaps why did you decide to study air traffic control? Where was it? In which part of the world were you? How old were you? I don't know. I think it's a very nice topic, isn't it? To, start engines and commence the approach to the language in use. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Sit down, buckle up, and enjoy this second episode. Here we go. Hello, guys. Welcome to Go Ahead Podcast. Today we are here with Diego. He's actually my colleague. He's an air traffic controller. He works with me at Peldehue aerodrome. And by the way, he's the youngest ATC. He's the baby ATC at Peldehue. And he wanted to participate on the podcast. So, Diego, thank you very much for accepting my invitation. And, the idea is just to speak, about yourself and practice our English as a second language. So thank you very much, Diego.
Thank you, Luis, for having me here. It is a pleasure to be participating on your podcast. It's a really big opportunity to practice my speaking skills and also to learn new vocabulary.
Good. Excellent. So, Diego, tell me, how has your experience been so far at Peldehue?
It has been really good because I have learned different strategies to face and manage the different operational situations. For instance, when we have 4 or more different aircraft from different locations approaching to the same runway, it is a little complicated to make an approach sequence because you have to keep in mind different factors. For instance, the aircraft performance, such as flight level, speed, and even the location.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
Talking more about my experience, actually we are used to work with VFR flights, so it's totally different when you're working at an airport as Arturo Merino Benitez.
Right, exactly. Okay. Wow, good, excellent. So, well, Diego has worked with me for nearly 2 years.
Exactly,
Yes. We've been working there for 2 years. So, well, I have to say that Diego has, improved their skills as an air traffic controller. We have to, improve and learn all the time our skills and have them in a very high level because our, situational awareness must be, on all the time because we have, aircraft or airplanes coming from different locations, as Diego said, and all of them are trying to approach to the same runway. And besides the aircraft, we've got some, helicopters flying over the aerodrome, or they are flying through the VFR road from, northbound and southbound at different levels. And some helicopters that are, they are flying to the aerodrome, or they just, go to fly to the some maneuvers zones that are located to the northwest side of the aerodrome. So that's very interesting, actually. We haven't got commercial flights yet, and maybe in the future, why not? Right?
Maybe. I hope that.
Yeah, sure. So, well, Diego, what is your, aim, your target to about, I would say, English? Please let us know if you have practiced your English before, and what did you study? And how is it going with the English language as a non-native?
Well, Luis, at the beginning it was a little difficult for me because I learned different words like when I was, 14. So I was not like the baby growing up with the English vocabulary.
Okay, I see. Well, I think that's very common. I would say here in Chile, since we haven't got so much time to practice, or at school, for example. I would say I remember that when I was at school, just 10 years ago. Why are you laughing? I'm just 5 or 8 years older than you. When I was at school, I remember that I had just only 3 or 4 hours a week. I don't know, how was your experience at school?
It was similar. Actually,
Okay.
when I start my studies, obviously on the Escuela Aeronáutica, I have been taking private classes in order to improve my communication skills.
You took private lessons.
Exactly.
I see. Okay, for how long?
For the whole career, like 3 years.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Wow. I see. Good. Perfect. So, well, as Diego, perhaps you are doing the same, guys. Maybe you are studying now at university, or even you are now working in a new company, or perhaps it's your first experience in a job, and perhaps your company need people well prepared in the English language. So perhaps you are living the same experience. I mean, you are taking now private lessons, and if it's so, please feel free to subscribe to the podcast, of course, and consider it as your, platform to practice. What are you learning if it's the case of your private lessons? Okay, so well, after 3 years, so and after you finish the aeronautical school, did you practice English? I mean, did you continue with your private lessons?
Yes, I usually practice my speaking skills by playing video games.
Okay.
Because it's the easiest way for me. Because I'm interacting with different people while I'm playing something that I like.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Very nice. And you guys, please tell me if you are playing games, and if that's the way in which you are learning English. I don't know. So wow, that's a very nice tool, I would say, to learn English. Not just reading a book or studying from a textbook, as most of people here in Chile tend to do. So good, excellent, and
absolutely, because also you can get a new vocabulary, even like in a specific vocabulary.
Not just for the game that you're playing.
Exactly.
Okay, and in that, what is the game that you play?
Valorant, Counter-Strike, or League of Legends.
Okay.
I know, guys, I'm a rat kid.
Okay.
but it's too fun.
I see.
It's too fun play different games.
Oh, that's so funny. Of course. Good. Well, that's the idea. I mean, while you're learning or while you're playing, we can say that while you're playing games, you are learning English at the same time, or vice versa. Okay, so I think that's the way in which perhaps you guys you need to try to do. Okay.
Yes, I think you have to find the best way for you. I mean, maybe there's something that you like more than me. For instance, I don't know, you can be learning by listening to music.
Yeah,
instead of playing.
That's the classical way, I would say.
Or maybe watching different series or films.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Oh wow! And I think, as you said, while you are playing games, you can interact with the rest of the people who are playing the same game.
Yes, when we're playing, we have a voice chat.
I see.
So we can communicate by the voice comms. So it's so fun.
I see. Wow, good, excellent. Please, can you say again the names of your Valorant,
Counter-Strike, and the last one, League of Legends.
And the League of Legends. What is the most popular one?
League of Legends.
The League of Legends. Okay. Oh wow, good, excellent. So maybe you guys.
Know one of you is playing right now.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. I see. Good. Excellent. Well, if you are now, guys, playing, the one of those, games, please tell your partners that you are watching Go Ahead Podcast and learning English in a funny way, of course.
Yes.
And we can have, I don't know, maybe we can have a chat while you are playing. For example, in a future episode.
For the future.
So, and you can show us how you can do it. And yeah, that would be very interesting. Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, guys, you see, I think Diego maybe before, coming to and participate to on a Go Ahead podcast. Perhaps he was I don't know, afraid of speaking in front of the cameras, maybe, I don't know. But, you know...
Yes, I was a little nervous because I know that I'm not the best speaker, but I can hold my own.
You're on the way. You're on the way to
I can hold my own.
Okay, good, excellent. That's the idea. So that's the aim of the Go Ahead podcast. So, as you can see, Diego has accepted my invitation, the challenge, of course.
It was a difficult challenge, Luis.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, it's quite normal. It's quite normal to feel, you know, pressure, talking speaking in a different language as English. But Diego is now, you know, actually doing a very good performance. And congratulations for that, Diego.
Thank you.
So it was.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, my honor to be with you here today, and I hope to see you in another episode in the future.
I will like
it. Don't forget that maybe we can interact with your partners, playing in one of those games.
We can invite someone.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. All right. So, guys, please feel free to. Subscribe, of course, to the podcast, Go Ahead Podcast. We are on Spotify and YouTube. And let me know in the comments if you're interested.
And follow the channel, obviously.
Sorry?
And they have to follow your channel.
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. That it's, my invitation now. So subscribe to the Go Ahead Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. And leave your comments there in order to read them and collect the whole information that it's going to be, I'm sure, very helpful for me in order to improve and, you know, getting the podcast better day by day. So thank you very much for being there. It was the very first episode of the Go Ahead Podcast. Thank you, Diego, for for being willing to practice. And,
Thank you for making this so comfortable for me.
All right, good, excellent. My friend, my pleasure. So, I hope to see you in the next episode.
I will be.
All right, guys, thank you very much. This is the end of the interview with Diego. So, leave your comments, and I see you in another episode. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was my chat with Diego, the baby ATC in our team, who had the courage to speak in English in front of all of you. And as you can see, he has demonstrated that it is possible to learn and practice your speaking skills fearlessly. Okay, the best of all, it was spontaneous conversation. We did not prepare it at all, even though we had thought about certain topics to discuss. But anyways, it was a kind of self-introduction, where he told us how's his experience been in Peldehue aerodrome so far, and this will be actually the content of the next episode of the podcast, how to introduce ourselves to other people in general. And I will explain you the use of the most used verbs in this case. For example, the verb to be, what kind of information we can give by using this verb, and some other things like for example, describing pictures, photos, or videos shown at the time of taking the ICAO test, for example, in which we must comply at least the level 4. Okay. All right, mates. This is the end of this second episode. It was a pleasure to have you all, and hope to see you in the third episode. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave your comments in the comment section on YouTube and Spotify. And now you can send me an email, okay, to goaheadpodcastchile at gmail.com, okay, in order to have your feedback, and perhaps we can include content you would like me to develop in the future, okay? So it is time to say Go Ahead Podcast episode 2, clear to land. Bye bye.